Good evening and welcome to Formula Pi testing round 3, the final testing for this year's Formula Pi. My name's Claire Pollard. I'll be guiding you through tonight's testing as best I can. Sorry for the slight late start. I am currently not at work, and as such I have lost track of all time and spatial awareness, and I was a little late in getting here. But I'm here now and it's all good, so we are good to go. Tim is going to be upstairs for the first part of tonight. He's not going to be down here with me. Aaron is also upstairs, as per usual, just lining up the robots as we can see them. I am currently just skipping through all of the things I have to look at because I have quite a few things to look at. I think there was lots of sound there as well. Oh, this is a nightmare. I had everything on everywhere and it's just not working. I think that might be okay, I'm hoping. You might have had an echo there for a little bit, but it's okay. We're good. We're here. As people are starting to slowly trickle into the chat. Sorry I didn't post this earlier. Good evening, Swinders, and good evening, Codebreaker, both joining us. Both on the list for tonight, I believe. Maybe? I haven't even skimmed down the list yet. I'm that slow. So we will just have a quick look to make sure that everything is set up for me. It is good. Let's boot up SpinView and get on with introducing the first contestant for tonight's testing round 3. So sitting, waiting patiently on the start line and just booting up with all of their code, it is Red Pie Racing from Sydney in Australia. My screen's a little bit jumpy tonight. They have 10 years of professional experience coding. They are from Sydney in Australia. They are currently sitting in, I'm booting up my spreadsheet at the same time. They're doing really well. I know they are top 10. For some reason my machine's gone really slow. It's very sluggish at the moment. Just skipping into view now, I can see all the overview points. Sorry, I'm very much not organised tonight. Overall, Red Pie Racing are in 9th place. Looking good for them so far this season. They've had a good few runs. They won their first race and challenge. The second ones have been not so good. They got a 3rd in their second race. But other than that, looking good for them tonight. I just need to look up a few things on my computer because it's feeling very, very slow. As always, with many of these things. And of course, I am in charge. Pico cheeky. Live stream starts when I arrive and not after. I am always fashionably late, and that is how it is. Cheeky. Right, we are good to go. Let's see how we do. Please start the robot. So, Red Pie Racing here, ready to go. And they're off. Good start. 2 to the first corner, that's pretty good. Skimming around the first corner. This looks very tidy, nice and tight. Turning is very smooth. A little bit indexed in the corner. I saw a little bit of a turn sticking out the rear end there as they came in. 17 seconds for the first lap. Not bad. It's a tight in around that first corner. This is looking pretty good. Nice clean lines. It's very tight as well. So a little bit more midline, but still sweeping into the green for the last corner. 17.09. Nice. This is looking good. So nice and smooth. So this will be the final testing we'll run. We're aiming to get through all 16 robots tonight in one night, if possible. Half of the issue with travelling at the moment is the road outside our house is closed. And closed like there was a giant JCB blocking the entire road for most of today. Like I couldn't get out of the house. It was horrible. So I was a bit late because of that, and then it was busy getting down here as it is. It's not great having a closed road outside your house with a JCB all day. Pretty noisy as well, especially if you're thinking it's my time off. It's not so good. 18.2, a little bit tardy, but a nice 16.5 second lap there in the middle. That's getting down more towards the average lap times we've seen previously. So this is good. Upstairs mics on, please. They are, Pico. They are switched on, but they're not switched on at the box. I think this is... Hang on one moment. Are they on? Is that better? I should be able to hear the robots now. It always seems to have slipped our mind. The last little thing that we have to do is the thing. There's a little box next to me that I have to turn on. And we keep forgetting. I bet Tim's left the phones on and everything. Very disorganised tonight. Flying in at the last possible moment. That should be better though. I think. Levels are bouncing a bit. So that's it. First robot done. Red Pie Racing there. Best 16.5 second lap. Best lap there, but averaging at roughly 17 seconds. That looks pretty good. Not bad. Not bad at all. I've just realised who does the timer. I need to check upstairs. Who restarts the timer? Okay, banging upstairs is not so good.
That's a very good point. I shall come down and restart the timer.
Well, there we go. Tim Freeburn is on his way down now to restart the timer, because that's on the other side of the room. We didn't think about this. We were hoping to get through everything in one night because we're trying to streamline this a little bit, but we're a bit all over the place because we're not used to this now. Hello. I didn't think about that. Do we have an extension cable that could give me an extra job to do? Or is that too many things to think about in this short period of time?
It's alright. I've only got 4 lids to change, so...
Okay, so you're going to go back up now. Cool. Tonight, there seems to be some fishiness with my computer and some fishiness with the streaming.
Fishy stream.
Yes, it is fishiest streaming. I'm getting
in a stream, so
a lot
fishy
of errors. A lot of errors. And my machine seems to be being a bit tardy.
What are you getting as your upload speed? 20, that's looking good. That's looking... Yeah,
it dips
that
though.
Should be fine.
I'm getting dips. Like, if we watch it for a little bit, you'll see it dip. And spin view tonight was being really slow. Like, when it was turning, it was actually juddering. I could see it on my end, so it must be horrendous for people. Sorry, this is like a technical test for us as well. This is not as smooth and as polished as normal. This is a little bit more disorganised because we're testing stuff as well. It's not going to do it now whilst you're standing here, is it? It's already running because I've been looking at stuff, trying to work out what's occurring.
Okay, we are ready for the light.
We're investigating a little technical hitch down here. We'll be with you in a minute.
Okay.
Of course, now Tim's watching, the feed won't drop. Good. It seems to be stable. Well,
let's go with the lights and let's see.
I haven't even done spin view yet, so sorry, we're not even at that stage yet because I've been investigating many things. Okay, so let's introduce who the next contestant is in the mighty spin view. Next up, we have Makespace Randers from Randers in Denmark. They are currently sitting 7th in the leaderboard. They won their last race and challenge heat, so they were looking really, really good. Didn't take part in the first race or heat. So for saying they've got 7th place now after 2 wins, that is looking really, really good for them. So hopefully continue the good form into these final few races. And fingers crossed we'll see them in the final, because it'd be really, really nice to see a new team make it to the final, as well as the old veterans who are constantly battling for the wins. So good luck, Makespace Rounders. I hope it goes well for you tonight. Tim's now standing around to watch the feed to check that I'm not lying.
It's all looking good to me.
Yeah, YouTube is still getting errors. There's something that's still causing an error in this, that it's not finding a good feed. It's the upload rate at our end seems to be good, but this is not good.
Maybe the pigeons at YouTube are a bit slow today.
Pigeons at YouTube.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to set this one off. Start this robot off, please. So as Makespace Rounder sets off, we're going to keep an eye on the feed and see how we're doing. Oh, that is a cycle and they're not moving. Oh, dearie me. Not so good. That is a no. I don't think there is anyone home in there. So, do we cycle and try again?
Unfortunately. No start, unfortunately.
Tim's behind me lurking.
Did the LED colour change? Okay, replace the robot, please.
So, that is it. We'll call it for Make Space Rounders. This is...
We'll check if it's a software problem.
Yes, we will check if it's... Sorry, I caught myself thinking about dinner or something. Yes, we will check it was a software problem and not a hardware problem. If it is a hardware problem, because we're doing all the testing tonight, we will run this robot separately in an individual test session to make sure that it's cool and good for next time. Tim, if you could go and restart the old timer. I tried to delicately indicate to you that needed doing without opening my mouth, and then had to open my mouth because you weren't paying attention to my hand signals.
I need much more obvious cues.
I'm going to have to start swearing at you then, aren't I, for you to notice that I am being rude. Still getting every minute errors from YouTube tonight. So there is something.
How are people finding it?
Yeah, I think
Does the stream look okay to everyone?
the majority are
just
viewing at
YouTube?
720. The majority are viewing at 720 by the looks of it. I can see all of the wonderful stats of how you're all watching it, which is brilliant. I do love watching this. If I didn't have a job to do, I would be watching all of the stats because we all know I love a good spreadsheet. Right. So whilst we're waiting for the next robot to boot up, I will introduce the next contestant who is lined up and waiting and ready to go. Here we have IQ Audio from Cricklade in the UK. This is the third time for them doing Formula Pi. They came 10th in their first outing, and then for their second outing, they got into the final, coming 5th place, which was a great performance for the IQ Audio team. And this year, they're doing all right. I think it's not been a great season. They won their first challenge, and then they got second in their first race, second in their second challenge, and then 5th in their current race. I think they stopped in that one and they didn't really get too far around. They got 29 laps. Total lie. I don't even know what I'm talking about, clearly. So hopefully IQ Audio will pick up a few more points after this week's session, and they will pick up the pace, and hopefully we'll see them in the final again this year. Obviously as well, needless to say, they are sponsors of Formula Pi as well, and they have been extra lovely and given us some boards to hand out as prizes for this year. He's wibbling his little head like a wobblehead.
Which I still need to
You
send.
still need to send
I'm
them out.
sorry everyone, I still haven't sent your prizes. Ah!
Do I need to kick you until you do?
Everyone can kick me.
Okay. It's a very stressful time here at Pieborg Towers.
Okay, we are ready for the lights.
Okay, set off the robot, please. It's a very stressful time for all concerned. Tim is flapping manically. And that's it. IQ Order away. A little bit of a wibble there to get started, but wibble, definite wibble there. We saw them a bit wonkily as they're getting round. Everyone seems to say it's okay on the old chat. They're looking all right tonight. Okay, as long as everyone's happy, that's good. I was worried because we're getting lots of bit of a dance there. Beautiful. Did Aaron forget to flick the lights
That
off
was
there?
Aaron's fault.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
Oh. Denied. I never realised that. So there's a pro tip. Always turn off the lights. Wow. So hopefully this will be a better lap. No spinning. So seeing the green lights up in the distance will make it spin round then?
Yeah, that's right. It makes all of the track in front of the robot look green, which makes it very confused because it thinks it's just in the green lane and there are no other lanes around it.
Excellent. This sounds wonderful.
But yeah, so this is partially why we've got the code that when the robots start, they go forwards for a minimum amount of time, is so that they get past the point where the lights or the green from the start lights is actually influencing them.
Cool. Well, that's good. I didn't know that. So that's knowledge for me right there.
Hi,
So,
George.
Yes, George has joined us. So Rasparas Piano has joined us. No code tonight, George. Busy week as well. I think we're all having a busy week, to be honest. Am I allowed to tell everyone about my new job or not? Or do I have to keep that quiet till next week?
Oh, that's a very good question. Do you wait?
I could probably wait, and then we can all celebrate it in the next race of Formula Pi.
Look at that wall.
Ooh, that was really, really tight there. This is going to be a nice lap, actually. 16 seconds. Good lap. Excellent lap from the IQ Audio boys there. Oh, just squeezed that in at the end after that first lap. Wonderful. Have you got a job to do?
Well, reset the timers.
Yeah. And you probably need to go upstairs.
I will need to go and swap the lids.
Yeah, so we've got extra. Tim's like 4 people tonight, ain't you?
Wow. Yeah. Need 4 people to do the job.
George says he doesn't have any changes, so he's all good. Cool. Good to see. Just having it chilled now, kicking back with a cup of tea, relaxing, enjoying the scenery. He's off. Tim's doing his power walk upstairs now. He's running out of the room now. He's put the timer on. So I am getting back to doing what I should be doing, which is deleting people and talking, which is 2 of my favourite things. So whilst they are warming up on the track, limbering into position, we have the next team up, which is Sheldons Fury from Waterbury in the US. They've been dabbling since 1996 in coding, but this year have decided to have a go at Formula Pi. This is their first entry into Formula Pi. They came second in their first challenge, second in their first race, second in their second challenge, and did not start in their third race, which has put them in 17th place so far on the leaderboard. This is, I'm not sure what that was due to. I remember there was a bit of, was it they were false starting, possibly Sheldons Fury? I didn't make any notes. But fingers crossed for you tonight, Sheldons Fury. Hopefully you will get a good testing time. Last time they got around 19.04 seconds on their best lap in testing. So if we can get all of the laps below that, that'll be good stuff for them. So just waiting, relaxing. You can listen to the gym next door. Exciting things. EMF camp this weekend. If you are coming to EMF camp, I will see you there. I haven't been camping in about 7 years, so if you see me looking quite frazzled and dazed on the Saturday or Sunday, then you know why, because I'm just completely frazzled. However, I do get electricity to my tent, which I'm quite excited about. I am purchasing a giant extendable cable tonight, just to make sure that I can get the powers to my tent. So fingers crossed for good weather, please. And if you are at EMF camp, come and say hello. I will be at the Guild of Makers Village, which is situated on the north side of the map, I think. I'm not sure which way around the map's actually orientated. Top left corner. I will be there all weekend, saving going to workshops. The Viking horn, drinking horn making cup thing sounds really exciting. Along with, I think there was a chainmail one, which I'm very intrigued by. And the titanium spork. They're the highlights for me so far. I've just looked at the workshops. I think I'm going to try to be around the Guild of Makers Village because there's quite a few folks coming over. At Grant John is coming over from Texas. A few people that I know from the group that I've not met are going to be there, so it'd be great. And it's great to catch up with all the usuals. So Dr. Lucy Rogers, who got my ticket sorted for me, so thank you. And it would be good to see people like Chicken Grills, and quite a few other people I've not met. Helen Lee I've not met before, so it would be nice to have a meet with her and chat and stuff. So that'll be good. Tim's back. Have you done your jobs now?
I've done 2 of them.
Oh, are you doing one, then you're coming down here? This is to get more steps in, isn't it? You're going to get your stairs in for today. Okay, yes please. I haven't had a radio check from Aaron yet.
Yes, you did.
Oh, I didn't hear it, sorry.
Okay, start light sequence, please.
I was sitting here waiting for it and I didn't hear it. It's because this is on so quietly. I was waiting patiently. I need to have this by my ear, I think. And Sheldons Fury is off. Good start. So 19.04 was their previous best time. Let's see if they can do better than that tonight. This looks very good. This looks good. I think this could be under already. Great start for Sheldons Fury. Yes, lovely. This is good stuff. I'm enjoying this already. 16.9. That's a great first lap. That is knocking almost 3 seconds off their time. Brilliant. Loving this. Tim's standing behind me, rustling his pockets. Thank you. It's all right. You keep rustling. Everyone will hear you on the internet. Yep, there we go. See?
Sheldons Fury has a nice new shiny lid
Have
that
they?
I haven't taken. Well, I've taken a photo of, but I haven't transferred it to the system yet.
Now, I saw that and I thought that looks different, and I haven't seen it yet. So, if you do swap it out, bring it down so I can see it, because it looks lovely. Is it? It's orange.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful, lovely, nice. So if you still haven't sent us your lids, please send us your lids. We'd love to have the uniquely designed lids on top of your robots. Makes it a bit more easy for me to see who's who, especially if you've got something unique and bright and colourful. It makes it very, very easy for me to see, because obviously the LEDs are a little bit difficult for me to rely on all the time.
That's so easy and obvious to see, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a really obvious lid. That's a great colour, like the big
fluorescent
bold
colours. There we go.
No, because everybody, we had this problem in BMX. We've already been here, and I've had this problem. So people bring in fluorescent lids, right? And people bring in fluorescent helmets, and it's great. It's brilliant. You're like, yes, this is a really bright colour, really easy to
Everyone has fluorescent.
Exactly. Then everyone has a fluorescent helmet, and then you can't tell anyone apart. So
you can tell the black.
yes, then everyone goes black, and it just seems to oscillate between black and fluorescent at the moment. And I think we're back in a black phase at the moment. It's Oh, I'll get my new jersey soon. Sorry, so many exciting things happening. This is looking great for Sheldons Fury. Every single lap so far underneath their best recorded time in testing. That is fabulous. Great work, Sheldons Fury. That is a vast improvement. Well done. I'm liking that. Good stuff. Alex has said, I think I'm going to have to try various Wi-Fi spots to try and make the next challenge to see which French Wi-Fi doesn't have the FTP ports blocked. That sounds exciting. I'm looking for. So this is what I'm looking forward to, is what people are going to hack about with for the weekend. I ordered a cross stitch kit to bring with me, and I was hoping to cross stitch it over the whole weekend, and just have people pop by and say hello whilst I'm stitching it. But it hasn't arrived yet, and like I say, we had the road dug up. We've got a JCB that was blocking the road, and I don't know if Royal Mail have been there to deliver it, and I'm a bit sad actually, because I bought that one with the blue tit on it. Yeah, a bit sad. But I'm hoping to have at least scrabbled some bits together, and I'll possibly make up a cross stitch as I'm going along. He's away again. He's off. Bye. He's gone. Oh, he's saying bye as he leaves. He's so polite. Right. Did I click that? Maybe. Did now. Okay, so here we go. Winding up the next robot. They are sitting on the start line. The next up, it is the Solar Cats from Albuquerque, New Mexico, from the Central New Mexico College. It is good to have them back. They range from 0 to intermediate level Python and Java. I've seen them in the chat a few times. I don't know if they'll be watching. They usually do during class, which is highly approved, obviously. They are currently sitting, I'm just skimming down the leaderboard to see if I can find them. They're currently in 6th, which is great. They won their second race. They've had some really, really good laps so far. They are looking good. They won their second challenge. They came 5th in their last race, but they're currently in 6th place due to the sheer amount of laps that they've put in the challenge round. So they got 12 laps in their first challenge, which gets them a huge amount of points. It's really... I'm misreading this now. They got 5 laps, which got them 12 points in the second one. I'm just catching up with the leaderboard. How does that work then? 6. I'm just reading. I think I'm very. So I've noticed this. Since having my week off work, I've noticed that my brain's become very sequential. I can only do one thing at once. I used to be able to multitask like a boss, but right now I am struggling to do one thing at once, let alone several, as is demonstrated tonight. Please set off the robot. So for Solar Cats, they are currently sitting in 6th place. They came 5th in their last race, but they won their second challenge, which is great. And they have really done well in the points. I think that winning that second challenge really helped for them, 12 points, which was great. It really pushed them up the leaderboard. So that goes to show, doing well in your challenge, getting loads and loads of laps, does you so well on the leaderboard, even if you don't win, because it counts for an extra points if you win. If you get in 6 laps, that's 12 points. It's a huge amount of points for you. And yeah, it's just does well. Tim, have you got anything to add to that? I'm really struggling with multitasking tonight. I think being off work, I've become sequential now. It's going to take me a while to ramp back up to being properly serial, or properly parallel.
Anything of interest to add? Or
Yes, to the Solar Cat team, and how they're doing.
what?
The Solar Cat team that are on the track right now.
Very wide.
Very wide, bit of a spin, but that's a good first couple of laps though. That's looking nice. So 17 seconds is pretty good. Happy with that. Anything that's
Is there a lane change algorithm in there?
possibly.
If there is a lane change algorithm, you might want to change lanes smoothly rather than just doing an immediate jump from one lane to another, because we've found that jumping from one lane to another causes it to go
Miles away from the microphone, but I'll repeat that. What Tim said, if you have lane choice in your code, you can choose how smoothly you change lanes, I believe.
You probably want to write some code to smoothly change lanes as opposed to just going from 5 to 1.
Okay, so I'll try that again because Tim interrupted me when I was halfway through explaining. You can choose a lane and you can tell your robot to drive in lane 1 or lane 5. That is the lane choices you have. If you choose to do that so you can tell your robot where to go on the track, you might want to write some code which tells your robot to smoothly change lanes rather than indexed. I am now in lane 5, I now must go to lane 1, because it will be a lot smoother and a lot more gradual. I have no idea how you might do that. I've just been told that is what you should do. I'm assuming there's some sort of interpolation you can do with direction and stuff.
Well, rather than going from...
You're over there. I don't want to relay this again.
So, say you are on lane -2 and you decide to change to lane +2. If you just change your code and say, alright, my target is now +2 and it was -2, what it will do is have a very big shift in its lane choice, and it may sit there and it could go a bit crazy, it could spin, it could do all that sort of thing. So you're better off doing a gradual, so we go from -2 to -1.5 to -1 to -0.5, etc.
There you go. Explained. See? Now we didn't have to do Chinese whispers.
Yeah. Chinese whistles are fun.
Not fun.
That's why you did them in school.
No. Never used to do them.
No?
No. I was used to stop that. It's rubbish. Right. Next robot on the grid. The 6 robots who start tonight out of 16. Almost halfway. Next up, we have Chitty Chitty Pie Pie from Poole in the UK. This is their second entry into Formula Pi. Currently sitting 5th on the leaderboard. After winning their second challenge, they failed to start or didn't start in their second race. But they got a whopping 30 laps in their first race, which was only good enough to put them in 3rd place, which is mad. Because it was a huge lap race that they were in, but 30 laps was only good enough to put them in 3rd place. But even so, they currently are sitting in 5th place with 41 laps, 30 points overall. So looking good, just on the bubble, on the edge of the 5 robots that can go through into the final. Tim's disappeared again, so he won't be able to whisper at me unless it's through the radio. Please set off the next robot. So Aaron is up on the old lights, in control of everything. Let's see how Chitty Chitty Pie Pie get away here. Oh, very aggressive start. Elbows out as they got into the first turn there. Really asserting themselves, getting in fast. The fastest time they recorded in last testing was 31 seconds, so not a great test for them. But the previous one was 16.67, so are they back towards those times? Let's see. 17.19 seconds, which is looking good. First lap. Obviously getting off the line is a little bit slow, but then once you're off and you're running, you can get nice clean lap times in. So this should be sub 17, I reckon. Ooh, a little bit wide. I'm off. I'm losing my touch. So they're going quite deep into that first corner, really heading to the outside line, but coming in so close to that wall for the last turn. And then really trimming that corner. So these laps at least are all around the 18-second mark, which is a lot better than previous testing, but still. Good to see some improvement for Chitty Chitty Pie Pie. Maybe they're back. Maybe this will push them up to the top end of the leaderboard. That would be good if it did. How are we going? 17.37 for the fourth lap. See how many more they get in. Oh, bit of a spin there before entering the S's. Having a bit of a think about things before heading in. .98, so that little spin really slowed them down. They might just squeeze in one more lap before we finish. Tim's back in the room. Oh, another spin going into the S's. That's twice now. Just pushing that lap time up. Oh, that's your 4. You're done.
That's the 4.
He's brought a robot down.
However, I'm going to check Randers and see whether there's any problems.
Oh, can we do that whilst running the racing? This feels a bit dangerous.
It is. It might all go wrong.
Please don't kill anything. Oh, that is it. Time up for the Randers team. If you could stop the old timer, please. And nice, sneaky little last lap in there, cheeky. But that was good. 17.65 that last lap. It was on a little bit quick before it disappeared. Good stuff. That is a good, nice set of laps there from the Chitty Chitty Pie Pie team. Well done. Good work. Tim's mucking around with screwdrivers behind me. I can hear him. If you are coming to the EMF camp and you're watching, what are you bringing this year? I'm excited to find out. I will probably bring the BMX flight computer, as well as my cross stitch, and probably a few good books as well, because it's a camping holiday. I need to be chilled, and I hear there's beer on site. I saw that being delivered today from the EMF camp stream, which is very exciting. So I can see Tim is changed over to the Raspberry Pi that does all the testing. This is dangerous now. Are you sure, Tim?
No. It's a testing session. That's what these are for.
Is that on a Switch?
No, it should be okay.
No, that machine's on a Switch, isn't it? Lovely. It made me panic then. I thought, oh my god, the whole thing. That's terrifying. It's mad things. Do you know being off work is bad for me? He's not paying attention now. He's taking photos for social media. He's not even listening. This is what it's like at home constantly. It's just, I'm always ignored. Until I shout beer or dinner. And it's, even then those 2 words. I didn't even get any response then at all. Beer. 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 Now he's listening. He heard the 5th beer there. He was listening. I'm not talking to myself, am I? Yes. Right. Next up, author of the wonderful points table spreadsheet that I'm using tonight, it is Pico Holcomb from Oxfordshire in the UK. I'm just trying to find you on the list. I didn't even find you before I was like, currently 11th on the leaderboard, which is great. Had a 2nd in their 2 early races, and then a 2nd in the challenge, and then a 5th in the latest race. But that is not a reflection. Sorry, a 2nd in the latest race. That was a good 2nd place for them. I was reading across the wrong. I just need time off still, Tim. This is horrendous. Pico's doing really well this year. It's been a complete turnaround from last year. Last year was a tricky year, but this year Pico has been doing really, really well. 2nd in their last race, putting them in 11th place overall here. It's good to see. Very consistent. 2 2nd places actually now notched up, which is great. Hopefully, next race, go one better, Pico. See if you can win. It's very distracting having Tim working on robots behind me or around me. What did you find?
I think we will try and run Make Space Randers again.
Okay, so Make Space Randers is going to be moved to the end of the pack and run again. So, I need to make a note to myself. There's about a million things going on at once here. Tim is going to go upstairs and tell Aaron that. Aaron is going to freak out because it's not part of the plan. I'm going to faff. Right. We're here. Okay. I'm going to set off Pico. The time has been reset. Yes. We're good to go. Okay, can you set off the robot, please? So I'm also on the radio tonight. I have an extra job. So Pico here. Away. They're off. Good start. Straight towards the wall. Bit of an oscillating pattern, but... Oh, we're going back again. Oh, we're forward again. Ooh, really quick spin, and then just it darts across the hairpin. Was that just aiming for the apex? Felt a little bit like you were there, Pico. So Pico's best time was 39.83 in previous testing. Let's see how... There's some really aggressive J-turning there in your code. That is really like flipping the back wheels around. It's almost like a skidding round. Ooh, aiming for that corner. So, I ought to add, just before, this may or may not happen, the cameras do not work in reverse. So, if people go backwards through the laser pointers, the cameras will not change. So, we might go momentarily blind whilst Pico is off in the S's. I can look across to see, here comes Pico, coming round that corner. Will they trip the next laser line? Do. Come on, Pico, let's have it. Hit it. There we go, through the corner. Oh no! Oh no! Up on the barriers. But they freed themselves. Sorry, excuse me. I forgot to get a glass of water as well tonight. I was so badly organised. 91.94 seconds for that first lap. Not as good as last time, but this is testing. So I'm probably not going to get another lap in here. Okay, Tim coming back downstairs. So that is it. That is all we're going to get out of Pico tonight, I'm afraid. Some really aggressive turning there as he came into some of the corners. That was quite busy. Tim's looking at me with... Oh no, he's just stacking up boards. There's lots of things going on here tonight. Are we aiming to do the whole of Formula Pi tonight, like all the logs and everything?
Probably not the logs, but we are running everyone.
Okay. It's just you're stacking. You don't normally stack until we're fully done.
That's because they're the ones that have come off the robots that are being rerun.
This is good. Where are we at? Could you, once you're finished doing currently what you're doing, would you mind grabbing me a glass of water?
Certainly.
Thank you. I've been a bit coffee and croaky tonight for some reason.
I just had a big sneeze upstairs.
Oh, on the porta mics, bless you. Next up, we have Mary Poppins from Poole in the UK. They are one of the teams, they split off from Chitty Chitty Pie Pie, as I understand, and formed their own team. They're all based around film robots. Mary Poppins, I'm looking down the leaderboard, I've lost track of them. There they are 14th place currently. They came second in their last race. They won their first challenge, so it's been a bit of a varied season, but currently sitting 14th on 18 points, which is good. So fingers crossed for Mary Poppins. Thank you for the water. I can now have a drink and not cough, which is good stuff. So fingers crossed for Mary Poppins tonight to see them get a little bit further on with this. I know I ask you this every time because I forget every time. Chitty Chitty Pie Pie and Mary Poppins and Pie Hard are all part of the one team that split off into 3 teams. Is that correct? Or is it 3 teams separate? I feel like I've learnt their backstory through in my head and I might have made it up.
It was 3 teams from
Electromaker IO.
That's the one.
Okay. Good. I this year,
Three sets of people, yes.
Okay, we are ready for the
this year has been mad, and I've not been as versed on who the contestants are this year. I've been a bit floaty, but that will change. Please start the robot. Ominous. Whoa! Whoa, that is a false start. I don't think that was a red, green, red. I'll double check. Was that a false start? Okay, it was a false start, confirmed by Aaron. So it's only testing. Tim's got his microphone out. Something serious is going to happen.
No, we're still running the 2, yeah.
Okay, so in the event of a false start in testing, it doesn't mean anything. We will run the 2 minutes. However, Chitty Chitty Pie Pie, sorry, Merry Piepins will be told about this, that their code does false start.
2 minutes from the point that
They'll get 2 minutes from when the timer started, yeah. But the jump code needs to be examined carefully because that won't work in a race. And now with our new race rules, with respect to false starts, you really can't get away with this anymore. They frankly terrify me, those rules. You've got to be such an accurate robot herder. And Aaron has to vault down the track at some pace to collect robots, doesn't he? If one of them sets off.
you were talking about in the...
False starting during racing.
During racing or during...
During racing. Oh, that camera changed. Did you do that?
Is the cameras are set up on the movie?
Yeah, but it changed the camera backwards. I thought we couldn't do backwards camera changes.
Not really,
But that one did. Are you lying?
no.
Ah, see, he tells me one thing and then does something else. He's just making it up as he goes along. Don't tell anyone. It's totally what you're doing though, isn't it? Be honest. Oh, and I've just seen a tweet on here as well, which has just reminded me it is Maker's Hour tonight. So join us on Twitter later. I may or may not join, depending on what I've got doing. Okay. Aaron has said 2 minutes are up, so that is it. This is... Do you know whose fault this is? This sleepy, yawny face? Diggers. I should be having lie-ins this week. No, I'm up with diggers. I'm up with the men with concrete chainsaws. I don't even know what you call those things. What do you call those things? Concrete chainsaws.
It sounds good. I like the name. If they're not called that, they should be called.
I know, right? If they're not called concrete chainsaws, they really should be. Yeah. Concrete chainsaws. What are they? They're like... I can't even describe them. They're like petrol-powered chainsaws that you have on the road. Noisy kids. Am I allowed to say that word? Is that a swear word? Git.
I don't think so.
Okay. I don't trust you though, because there are some Australian words that you use very endearingly,
Otherwise,
but there are some...
GitHub would get lots of problems.
GitHub would have a lot of problems, actually. They would. True. That's very true.
Microsoft wouldn't have got involved.
No.
Swear words.
No, that's true.
So,
But it's only a matter of time before they change it to something awful, be honest. Although VS Code, I can't fault them for VS Code, in fairness. Yeah. Right. How are we doing? Where are we at? What have I done? Hang on, where am I? I don't even know. I should do sponsors now, because we're exactly halfway right now. Then I will do spin view.
okay.
Deary me.
Or we could do spin view and then you could do sponsors after it.
Yeah, all right, but it's not halfway then, is it?
Just do it.
Fine. I've been told. I've been ordered the higher powers, and I have not changed my text. So sorry, everyone. Just realised I hadn't changed it. Told you, I'm awful. Now I've had time off. I'm half the woman I used to be. Yeah, it's just serial. One thing at once. Sequential. Not parallel. Right, next up, we have AFKCLJ from San Francisco. Coding generally for a long time, they list in their profile. It's been a bit of a mixed bag for them. I am scanning down the list. They are currently in 10th place. They won their last race with 31 laps, which was great. They won their second challenge, but they have had some trouble with false starts, I believe, and they didn't take part in the first challenge or the first race. But since then, they have done really well, and they've won both events they've entered. They're currently sitting in 10th place. Now their starting code is looking smoother. They are looking good to go for tonight. Aaron says yes. Yes, please.
Okay, start light sequence, please.
Start the old robots. Will you start the fans, please? I've missed all the Crystal Maze since it's been back on. I need to go and watch all that. Right, away this time for AFKCLJ. Bit of a wide line around that first corner, but this could be the first lap code. A lot of people do run code that runs on the first 5 laps only, or first sort of 2 or 3 laps, until all the robots have spread out, and then it settles down. There we go. I saw that definite line transfer then. Did you see that, Tim? You looked away from the screen for a moment. I think it happened when you looked away, but it was good. That's the sort of thing we like to see, darting to the inside line. This could be a good lap, actually. This is looking pretty tidy. 15.95, I think that's the quickest we've had so far tonight. Looking good for them. Pico has been frantically making up the timesheet for me, and is now filling it in. I haven't been filling it in. I've been concentrating on about a million other things, and now I've been given a radio tonight as well. It just adds extra tension. But 15.95, that is a very, very good time. Oh, no, sorry, I'm so sleepy. I'm hoping next week, when I actually get back into full-time employment, I'll actually be a bit better again, and I'll be a bit more alert. I think I am at the height of much relaxedness. You'll see me at EMF camp this weekend. I'll be asleep. Just be asleep in a corner. Find me in my tent having a nap, probably. I'm very excited for that. Can you tell? It's going to be a good weekend. I wish Tim was coming with me, but he's busy. He's not listening now. Beer. He's listening now.
Something about beer?
Something about beer, yeah. Yes. 16.6 seconds. Looking good. Did actually see somebody's giving a talk on becoming an imposter. I really want to read. From Idiot to Imposter, I think was the title of the talk, which sounds really good to me. Because I'm at the fringe of idiot at the moment with going into my new job. I'll be 100% idiot for a few weeks, and then I'll be imposter. So, classic imposter syndrome sufferer here. My tummy rumbling as well. I hope nobody can hear that on the microphone. So best lap there was 15.95. Everything's sub 17. Looking very, very good for AFKCLJ. Hopefully they can continue their good run going into Challenge 3. Now I can do the sponsors. Where do they live? I don't want to double click that. I want to drag that there. So we have some lovely people to thank. People who helped us put back the original Kickstarter. Obviously we love them the mostest, but there are also some people who have given us some extra things to help us make Formula Pi amazing, just like POSIX, the guys that do accurate indoor GPS positioning systems. We use them on the more whole fractable grazers. Mod My Pi, lovely friends down in Tunbridge Wells who sell everything you might need for the Raspberry Pi. Go and check out their website and buy lots of things, thank you please. Next up, Electromaker, with 3 teams in this year's Formula Pi doing very, very well, dominating the top 10. Go and check out Electromaker.io for lovely blogs and tutorials on how to build things with hardware. Next up, the aforementioned IQ Audio, lovely audio and digital audio hats for the Raspberry Pi. Go and check them out. Finally, Pimeroni from Sheffield. They have the amazing, beautiful boards like the Breakout Garden that came out last week, which was fabulous. Les Pounder has done a beautiful video of how to assemble the Picade. I think it's a time-lapse video, which sounds incredible. As far as I'm aware, Tanya is still funding to go to Maker Faire, which is great. Go and check out Tanya's GoFundMe page for the final push to get her to Maker Faire this year. Tim bought a lovely cactus pot from her and it was absolutely beautiful, so really hope Tanya's got all the money she needs for going to Maker Faire. Go and check that out, please. Spin View, why were you pulling a face then? Is it raining?
Raining.
Wow, it's raining really hard. Can people hear that on the old feed? Is it, if it's raining really hard, like, can you hear it? I always wonder. Because I can't hear the track mics from here, and I'm in a little kind of box, so I can't really hear anything. What am I doing? This is the problem. When I'm out of employment, my brain completely turns to mush. Next up, the 10th robot to run tonight, we have the Think Robot team from Villeneuve-d'Ascq in France. They've got many years of coding experience. I am skimming back to the list to see if I can find them. They are currently sitting 12th overall. They won the second race and they won their first challenge. The reason for 12th is they didn't get many laps in their races, their challenges that they've done. They only got 3 laps in, which does for 8 points for the win. The more laps you get in that, the more points you get, the more likely you are to win. So that is my pro tip for this year, is focus on the challenges, get more laps in, and Think Robot team, you should slowly bounce up the leaderboard. I genuinely think this year's racing will be decided by this third challenge event. That is my prediction. Yes, please send Think Robot away, please. I genuinely think that this year's racing will be determined by the third challenge race. I reckon. If you do well in that, you'll do well to get into the final, because if you get more laps you get, the more points you get. I think that's what's going to be the decider here this year. Quote me on it, Tim. No, he says he won't remember. So, Think Robotics team here. 19 seconds for the first lap. So, as I said, first laps are usually a little bit slower because the people sort of wind up and get into it. A little bit tentative going around that first corner. And into the hairpin as well. A little bit of a thought process going on there into the robot before they move in, which is good. But it does slow you down. Maybe evaluating what's inside the track, what could be there, waiting, lurking inside the S's. It's not the troll bots tonight, but it could be another night. Moving troll bots is frankly terrifying. We did talk about this last time. Is next year we're going to have moving troll bots. Maybe not a full pelt, but they will be certainly moving. Like grenades, no, we couldn't have them. Can we make them like Frogger? They go backwards and forwards across the track. Yeah, that would be really good. Make it like Frogger. Actually, that's a thought. Seeing Phil with it doing his skid across the floor of the primary warehouse, and then Paul saying it looked like hungry hipsters. That gave me a thought. You could do this. You could put a bucket on the front of one of these monster balls and little white ping pong balls around the track, and you can have it so that they have to scoop up as many ping pong balls as they possibly could. A bit like Pac-Man or like Hungry Hippos.
Oh, that's really good.
Mm.
Oh, I like it.
But the ping pong balls don't have to be in an obvious place.
Does anyone else like it?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is this like the crazy talk of a woman who's not been in employment for nearly 2 weeks, or is this actually a viable idea? The Hungry Hippos challenge. 2 minutes is up there. Best lap 18:44 there for the Think Robotics team. Yeah, let us know what you think. Whether that is, yes, Jamie, that is rain. It is. We have got the roof in the office is, I think, made from plastic. I think you can just see it there, top left, above the Rolls-Royce logo there in the bottom left. It's that corrugated plastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when it rains, it's hard.
I think it's polycarbonate.
Polycarbonate, I've been reliably informed. Also the gym, I'm so sorry. I hope they weren't playing awful dubstep. I've probably got a feeling they were doing all their CrossFit stuff. Oh, bless, I'll have to be running in that rain. It's a CrossFit gym, so they basically do lots of weightlifting and jumping up and down on boxes and chin-ups, and then they go running outside in the estate, and yeah, they'll have had to have run in that horrible, hideous rain, whilst we're quite cosy and dry, sitting in here. Lols. And breathe. 2, 3. Next up, we have Formula Pi regular now. is part of the furniture, almost as much as the troll bots, but much, much lovelier. It is Swinders from Waterlooville in the UK. This is the 4th time entering Formula Pi. Last year came 2nd overall in the championship, which was an absolutely fantastic result, having missed out on the final 2 years previously. Finally, Swinders made it into the final, which I was ecstatic about, and was leading for pretty much most of the race, which was great. Now currently sitting 20th. It's been a bit of a mixed bag year. They won their first race, came second in their first challenge, but didn't complete the second challenge, and came second in their... Oh no, I'm reading the wrong line. And didn't complete... Oh, just give up. They've won the one race they started in. It's very difficult to read across the lines. I need to be like highlighting this. I think can I do that? Yeah, that's easier. I should do that in future. I need to practice these things.
You just need to ninja flamingo.
I've been trying to style it out all evening. It's not been happening, so I'm just sighing at myself now. Let's try that again. Swinders is currently sitting in 20th place. They won their first race, but failed to get any points in previous races or challenges, which is bad times. Hopefully, this is going to be like the turn of fortune. Like I said, if Swinders comes out, smashes out like 15 laps, that's 30 points. That could really make a difference. So, I mean, that could put you in 2nd place right now, as things stand. So this is what I mean, right? Everything counts for these challenges. Everything counts right now. Yes, please send off Swinders into the track.
Yeah, can't find my thing. Okay, start lightsabers, please.
So red, green, red, and Swinders will be away. Perfect timing. Swinders has just turned up in the chat. Good evening. Sorry for making such a mess of your introduction. I'll be glad when I'm working. Have I said that? I thought 2.5 weeks would have really set me straight. Lovely break, but right now I'm like, it's just eroding my brain function. 17.8 first lap. Good start. Tim's staring at something. What are you staring at? Nothing. Middle distance. Okay, cool. Staring at the ceiling. Beer. No, you see, I heard that first time though. You were listening. I want beer tonight. Have you got a portable soldering iron? Or only a desk-based soldering iron?
I have a portable one that you can plug into main, which you will have at EMF camp.
No, I don't want to be soldering in my tent. This is not a soldering in a tent. Can you imagine? Burning holes in my... No, it's not very well ventilated at all. I need to assemble my tent. I haven't actually put it up.
With solder?
No, just put up my tent. I haven't actually done that. Is it dangerous to go to a campsite where I haven't actually put the tent up yet? What's the worst that can happen? I'll sleep in somebody else's. Good lap times here for Swinders, all around the 17.8, 17.9, 18 second mark, which is great. Yes, Swinders, going all out for the challenge rounds. That's it. It's go big or go home right now. 20 laps, 40 points. That will stick you right up in the playing field, I reckon. I think that's what you need. Goals right now, proper goals. Polymath Programming is saying, wish I'd heard of EMF Camp sooner. I'll have to see if I get it to it next year. EMF Camp is only run every 2 years because it's a full voluntary, it's run by volunteers, it's not run for profit, and frankly, from my minimal knowledge of organising events, I know that I would only want to do that every 2 years. Frankly, they organise, it's just brilliant what they put on. And yes, and the next one will be 2020. Well, it's not been announced yet. It won't be announced probably until next year. But yeah, I think there were still some tickets. Midweek, there were a few tickets spare. I think they had some returns for sale. So it might be worth checking on the website to see whether they have any left. They are at EMF Camp on Twitter. See if I can find them. They are emfcamp.org. They 6 minutes ago they literally posted on Twitter saying there are still a number of EMF tickets on sale. So if you really wanted to come and you're really busy, they have had some returns. That was literally 6 minutes ago they put that on sale. So still some tickets. I think it's about £130 for the weekend. Right. What am I doing?
Have you done spin view?
No, I'm pretty hungry. Right, next up, we have Team Yoshi, who are currently second? No. Where are they? God, don't know, honestly. Team Yoshi were leading the series for quite a long time and have recently been knocked down. They had a bad last race, which put them down into 4th place. They won their first challenge and their first race, then came second in their next challenge, and they came 4th in their next race. But with 22 laps, it was obviously a big lap count race that they got stuck in. But that's not to say that Team Yoshi can't still take the prize here. They've done very, very well so far. They are from Funabashi in Chiba in Japan. No lid, but still time to return it maybe. We don't like that it has lids. Or is there a lid on there? That to me looks like that could be a custom lid. It doesn't look much like the red triangle as advertised in the image. Could that be one that's missing? I don't know, Tim. You're in charge of these things. He's pulling a face. See, that to me looks like it's got a green bit on the lid. I can't zoom in, sorry.
It might be just not the correct colour on the... is that lid customised or is it a house lid?
One of our
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a house lid.
It's a house lid.
one of our
Okay.
standard lids.
Do you want it to go?
Yes, please.
Okay, start light sequence, please.
Righto. Let's see how Team Yoshi do. And they're off. That is away. 2.4 seconds to the first, 2.04 seconds to the first corner. A bit of a slowdown and then zipped off into the hairpin with proper purpose. Let's see how they do. Swinder says, I wonder which code that was. Well, let us know when you find out whether that was the winning code, because that was quite good. It's Team Yoshi here, first lap 18.4. Looking speedy. Tim's polishing his watch. Is that the second timing watch? Second timing watch. You can go beep boop on your Garmin and time people. Beep boop. That's what your Garmin does. 18.34 second lap. This is looking good. Despite the little bit of slowdown going into the first corner, these are good times. Yeah, regular slowdown on the exit to the hairpin. It's almost like it's changing code and it's just having a minute to think about it before it carries on. 17.99 on that third lap looks really, really good. .57. This is good. Oh, that was close to being another 17-second lap there. Looking good for them though. Even with this slowdown out of the first corner, these lap times aren't too bad actually. They're obviously very consistent when they get going. There we go, into that. It's just there on the exit to that hairpin. It's the same spot every time. That is it for Team Yoshi. Good to set laps there though.
You have 6 more robots? 5 more robots. Yeah.
5 if we count the Make Space Rounders, which we're going to rerun.
Make Space Rounders right at the end.
Cool. So what do I need to type on the end for that so I can give them a spin gear as well? I've managed to do that myself and everything. I'm so proud. Right, so let's introduce the next team who are currently limbering up on the start line. Next up, we have Wacky Racer from Saint-Ouen in France. This is their second Formula Pi season, and they've been doing really, really well this year. They are currently in first place with 46 points, 55 laps. They are on top of the leaderboard. They came second in their last race, first in their two challenges. They've won and done really, really well. They've clocked up points with 8 and 7 laps in their challenges. And they came fourth in their first race with 16 laps. But that's still not a bad lap count to be sniffed at, to be honest with you. I think they probably had a bit of a rough day that day. But they're looking good now. Make space, Wacky Racer. Sitting comfortably on top. They have amassed a huge amount of points in the challenges. And this is what I mean, the challenges make it this year. I think if you do really well in the challenges, the racing almost doesn't matter. It's now severely weighted towards the challenges with this new point system. Was that intentional? You're wiggling your head. Yeah. Maybe we should be giving laps bonuses to... Oh, I still need to pick my favourite one, don't I? I keep forgetting that I've got a job this season to pick my favourite one. This is tough, you know? Right. I've done spin view, haven't I yet?
You're on it.
I am not on it tonight. Send them away, please.
Okay, start the record, please.
It's just a horrible mess. This is what happens when you take me away from doing complicated things. My brain just turns to mush. Right, they're off. Oh, bit of a dart there. .51. Good lap there. Oh, bit of a wibble, but we're off again. I feel like I'm having a bit of wibble tonight. Did I not sleep well last night? I wake at odd times. Just feel a bit. That's my Fitbit. Yeah, I'm going to need to. At least if I'm tired for the weekend, I'll sleep well in my camp bed. Something to look forward to. Yeah. I'm going to have to go easy on the alcohol. I don't want to wake up hungover in a field. It's literally the last thing I want.
With the sun blaring in on the can.
Yeah, and it's going to be a nice weekend, so the forecast says. So yeah, the last thing I want is to be in a warm... Whoa, we've gone backwards! Whoa, Wacky Racer is reversed. He's making manoeuvres back on the track. Tim's had to manually get on the old cameras. Had to do something, you had to be busy. Look busy. Robots are coming, look busy. 30 seconds for that lap, plus the 6 of the little reverse. Don't know what that was about. Bit of a momentary lapse. So next proper lap, 19 seconds. That's probably going to be about it, I reckon. That was my tummy making a funny gurgling noise. Did everyone hear that on the internet? Probably. It's just dinner time. It's 7:45. Since when? 15 minutes to make us out. We're still eating the tomatoes from our garden. Thousands of tomatoes. So it'll just be tomato sauce and pasta tonight with a bit of parmesan. Sorry. It's because we've just got so many tomatoes. If we don't eat them now, you're not going to eat them over the weekend. So I'm going to have to get about half a kilo of tomatoes off the bush tonight. I want garlic bread to go with it, but I know that we're not allowed it because we're on a diet of being good at the moment. I might have to go and get a beer for myself though. Sorry, not sorry. Right. Spin view, spin view. This next racer I saw a very silly video on the Twitter this morning. I was trying to think where I saw it. I'll save that story for later. God, it's horrible tonight. Right, next up, God, the IT guy from Independence, Oregon. I know he's coming already. With his lovely googly-eyed marbled lid. It's the IT guy's third appearance in Formula Pi. They came second in their first series. Didn't do so well in their second series. It really wasn't a great year for them. And this year has been a similarly mixed bag from my memory. They are currently in 26th place on the leaderboard. They didn't start in the first two challenges and races, and then in their second ones they came second and then fourth. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. The IT guy's back on it now though. He is back on winning things, and fingers crossed for better results for the final ones. I want to see you coming into the challenge and doing like 40 laps and then 80 points, and then the whole thing's just thrown upside down in true chaotic IT guy fashion. Current holder of the Formula Pi lap record. No one's really got close to it this year. We haven't had much in the way of sub 15 second laps, and the IT guy's lap is in 13 second territory, which is insanely fast. So we really want to see you back to the form you were on. So good luck, IT guy. I'm rooting for you with the googly eye. Yes, please, Tim. Send him away.
Okay, start light seekers, please.
The thing that made me think of googly eyes was what somebody on Twitter this morning posted their vacant toilet slider that had a googly eye when it was occupied. It was very good. I really enjoyed the wibbly eye when you flicked the thing across. It was quite funny. And he's away. IT guy's off in the chat as well. So googly eyes are my favourite. Yes, they are. You could win. Jamie says tonight he is trying some new detection code. If it all goes well, it should run normal, or it will trigger on the logos and run wild. Exciting. That was quite tight to the wall. Ooh. 19.8 seconds. It's a bit wibbly. It's got sort of the wobbles, but very, very close to the barriers. Dangerously close, I might say. But 17.36. Jamie, modest in saying, honestly, I have no idea how I did that fastest lap. It was part of that chaotic session, wasn't it, where everything was just mad, and everything was like 1 minute you were on the wall, the next minute you were doing the fastest lap. It was just insanely busy. Looks like here 17 seconds is your best, 17.3, and now we're getting stuck on the wall. Bit of confusion, and we're off again soon. Bit of wibbles, and we're back doing what we were doing before. Tim's staring very intently at the monitors. So close to the wall, in fact, he disappeared behind Matilda then. That was so tight. He disappeared behind all the furniture. So 29 seconds. It's just catching on the wall, isn't it, as it drives past it. It's causing it to turn. It's just pulling it into the wall. Possibly no upside down detection code, Tim asks. Question mark. It's like it's wibbles and then it's off. Ooh. Interesting code.
You might want to turn the steering gain down a bit too.
So Tim says turn the steering gain down a little bit. It might be too much. I think Aaron is coming out to pick up the robots. I think that's probably it. 2 good laps in there to take away. 17.3, 17.36. Tim says turn the steering gain down a touch. He shrugs. He's been practicing his Gallic shrug, and that was very good. Above. He's done well. Right, 3 more teams to go tonight. I didn't realise this would take so long. I should have had a snack before I came out. It's Maker's Hour in 10 minutes as well, so feel free to pause this and come back later, because I would if I wasn't busy. If I wasn't required here. I am, yes, please. I'm spinning. Much like Kylie Minogue, I am spinning around. And next up, it's Pie Hard from Pool in the UK. This is another one of the teams from Electromaker.io. They have that wonderful lid with the big picture, and I love it. It's really good. Welcome to the party, pal. Definitely. Welcome. They've done well this year as well. All of the Electromaker IO teams have done really well this year. Maybe it's collaboration, maybe it's working together, but Piehard are currently in second. They've won their last challenge and race. They also won their first race, but failed to start in their first challenge. So it's been constant firsts since that point of not starting, which has pushed them up into second place. And with 26 and 25 laps in their races as well, they're not to be sniffed at. There's some very, very good results there. Tim.
Yes. I'm not ready.
Yeah, I know. Fine. I'm looking at the wrong column. It's fine. I'm looking at the wrong column. I'm so glad that the week the Magpie were here, this was a really smooth and polished affair, and this week has just been a complete nightmare. It's like a trash fire. It's just a dumpster fire. And I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm hoping normal service will resume in 2 weeks when I'm a bit more with it and grounded and don't feel as kind of anxious and worried. I really want to tell everyone what it is, but I still can't. Tim's just hit my chair to tell me not to. He's shaking it now. It's like there's an earthquake.
We're ready.
Yes, please send them away.
Okay, start light sequence, please.
So Piehard are off. Ooh, really slicing that apex. Oh dear. I can hear that.
That's
a restart. There it is. It was going so well for Piehard.
Is this the intention? Is to actually test the restart code? Because that might be the point.
Pico does say, is it Piehard who are doing deliberate reboots? If this is a deliberate test of the reboot code to check it's working,
then kudos.
Massive kudos to you guys. That I am very, very impressed. I wish I'd been warned, so I didn't have the panics, but the light has come back on. And it's away! Yes! Yes, Piehard! 10 out of 10. So, that was... This is brilliant. I actually put my hands up and nearly stood up out of my chair then. Brilliant. Yes. Yes, Queen. This is so good. So good. Tim's moved my water for fear of me throwing it everywhere. Can they fit in another amazing reboot before we call time? This is so good. So good. Right, everybody, go and ask Piehard how they've done this. Because this is what you need. Because this happens. Right? This happens all the time in racing. You get your battery knocked, you crash into someone, you do a restart because something happens. You have to know how to get out of this, and this is a masterclass in how to reboot your code. Yes, Piehard. Is it going to do a second one before we get to the time? I don't know, this is going to be tight for calling it. Ah, no, but the one worked. Yes. Now that is effective use of your testing time. Yes. 13 out of 10 would watch again. That is fabulous. I'll be putting that back on replay. Well done, Ryan and Joe. Fabulous work. Well, where do we go from there? I mean, that's big news. Good stuff. So good. Well done. I'm marvelling at that. Fabulous. Right. Next up, let's get on to the penultimate robot for tonight. We have from Columbus, Ohio, it is Faulty Logic. They are new to Formula Pi this year. I'm skimming down the list to try and find them. They are currently in 29th place, having no starts for all of their rounds so far. So fingers crossed, tonight, in testing, they will get off the line. I have everything crossed. They're currently in 29th place, which is bottom of the leaderboard. I still have everything crossed. Everything crossed. All of the things. Starting scripted about 10 years ago, they list their experience, and they are ready to go. I can see on the old screen that ready to go might already have gone. I suggest there might be... Faulty Logic was one of the ones that jumped last time, wasn't it? I think. Memory serves me correctly. I would suggest that your lights code is not working, and if you... Sorry? Could be the restart code. We will investigate and possibly try to help you out, because it is late in the competition now. And if you false start, it's not only bad for you, but it's bad for us as well, because we have to, now with our new rules of if you false start, we will just turn your robot off and put it on the start line and it'll act like a troll. You won't get a run, so it's important to have your start light code. I think this is also rule 1 of my top 5 Formula Pi tips that I shared at Raspberry Fields this year. Don't play with start light code. Pretty much. Yeah. Could be restart code. In which case you'll still get a log for these laps, but it doesn't help racing. Bit of a pause there. Also doesn't help commentary if you start before I've finished introducing you. Then I sit here going, oh. Okay, probably not going to get much more than 1 lap in here, I don't think, with the state of things at the moment. But could cause some real headaches in racing, unless they false start and we just turn them off, as we have now said is the rules. Them's the rules. That's almost your 2 minutes. Beep boop. Or is it 3 minutes we run the robots for? And I just can't count. That was 2 minutes and 10 seconds, Tim Freeburn. I can count. Honestly. Right. Last robot for tonight. Do I need to do another spin view for this?
No, you're now.
I am ready, should I need to. We can say who it is. It's Makespace Rounders. Could you put the camera back on the start finish line, please? Doink. There we go. Right. This is Makespace Rounders, who we ran earlier on tonight, and they didn't start. So we've put it on another robot, I believe, just to check it's not a hardware problem. Because we've got the luxury of running this now, we can check it one more time, and then we're going to call it a night. It is Makers Hour right now, so if you nip across to hashtag Makers Hour on Twitter, you can join in with the chat there. I will not be joining this evening, obviously, because I am tied up with this. I don't think I will. I just concentrate on cooking dinner and tidying the house, because my mum's popping around for tea tomorrow, so the house needs to be tidy. Because she won't want to see all of my robots and stuff stuck on the floor. I just saw a light change there. That's gone to yellow, which is the colour we were expecting for them. So, is that a good sign or a bad sign?
I believe it did the same last time.
Okay.
So, it's probably a nothing sign at the minute.
Okay, not a sign. Not a sign at all.
Any sort of sign.
No sign at all. Yeah. Yeah, my mum's popping over for tea tomorrow.
Tea and scones.
Well, it normally is tea and cake, but it might just be tea because it's quite early in the morning. Don't normally have cake that early on in the day. Yeah, so I need to hoover and tell Moo we were expecting guests.
Haven't got anything yet.
Oh, I'm still waiting for Aaron. Okay. Pico says, big up Tim for turning around the testing and resetting MSR during the session. Good work. Makespace Rounders, MSR. for turning them around within the hour we've been running.
Okay, start light sequence, please.
He's grinning. You can't see that on the YouTubes. Right, here we go. Green, red, green, and if it doesn't go this time, we're all off home.
So definitely not the robots.
Definitely not the robot choice. We will investigate that and let Make Space around us know what was occurring. But that is it. Oh, it's a disco up there now. Look, Aaron's getting really aggressive with the flicking now. He's like, ah, let's go! No, he's not going to go. So, with that little disco flurry at the end, we will finish for tonight. So, thank you for joining us. Notices? Are there any?
You have 10 days to pay.
You're 10 days to pay. Yeah, see you at EMF Camp if you're coming. Come and find me. I will be around the Guild of Makers Village, probably looking generally quite tired and a little bit away with the fairies, so please come say hello. Introduce yourselves if you're Formula Pi contestants by your team name, that would help. If not, Twitter handles, because that's the other currency I work in. Secondly, next session will be in 2 weeks' time. By then I'll be able to talk to you about my new wonderful job, which you will all want to hear about, 100% guarantee it. Also, what else is happening? I feel like there's something else. Fen Jam. If you are interested in coming to a Raspberry Jam in the Cambridge area, then check out fenjam.org. We are running our first Pi Jam. We've just started organising people to come and do stuff. People who are already definitely coming are... Am I allowed to say who's coming? I was about to say it then. Yeah. Dr. Lucy Rogers will be at our jam. She will have a big show and tell table with lots of lovely Raspberry Pi goodies on there. Also Robin Newman, who has the Pi Glockenspiel, who was in the Magpie last issue, is very, very impressive. He's going to be bringing that along too. We have some show and tell space. If you're interested, info@fenjam.org. Let us know you want to do show and tell. We've got 3 tables or 6 half tables to give up for show and tell. If you've got a Pi project you want to come and talk about, bring it along, come talk about it, meet us, have a lovely time.
The rollout Formula Pi track will be there.
The rollout Formula Pi track will be there.
You're welcome to bring your robots
Yes.
and try them on the...
You are welcome to drive your robots on the track. That is a promise. You can do that. Aaron's going to be in charge of that. Good luck with your toes. My toes still are recovering from Cam Jam and having all the robots running out, not Cam Jam, Raspberry Fields, where I had all the robots running over my toes. That's it. We're done. So, good night. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Keep your eyes peeled for logs, probably tomorrow or Friday, however we feel about stuff. See you later. Bye.